正聪明的人都懂得换个角度活。你有没有发现，有些问题怎么努力都解决不了？也许不是你不够拼，而是方向从一开始就错了。听完这5个故事，你可能会明白。故事1，你看到的脏未必是真的脏。有一位太太，很多年来一直对对门的邻居很不满。她常对家人说：“你看她衣服永远洗不干净，晾在院子里全是斑点。”几乎每一天，她都会站在窗前，带着嫌弃的眼神看着那些衣服。直到有一天，一位朋友来做客，朋友站在窗前看了一会儿，轻声说：“你有没有发现，不是衣服脏，是你家的窗户该擦了？”太太一愣，仔细一看才发现窗户上积了厚厚一层灰。那一刻，她突然明白，她这些年责怪的从来不是别人。启示：很多冲突不是世界出了问题，而是我们站在一扇脏窗户后面看世界。遇事先反观自己，往往比指责别人更接近真相。故事2，铺满世界的牛皮不如2块鞋底。很久以前，人类还赤着脚走路。有一次，国王到偏远乡间巡视，路面崎岖，碎石遍地，走得他鲜血直流，痛苦不堪。回到王宫后，国王震怒地下令：“我要把全国所有的道路都铺上牛皮。”大臣们计算后发现，就算杀光全国的牛，也不够铺路。这时，一名仆人小心翼翼地说：“陛下，何不用2块牛皮包住您的脚呢？”国王愣住了。启示：改变世界往往代价巨大，改变自己却最省力，也最有效。真正聪明的人从不试图让世界迁就自己，而是让自己适应世界。故事3，你听到的声音其实来自你自己。一个年轻人到店里买碗，他拿起一只碗，轻轻和其他碗一碰，发出的是沉闷浑浊的声音。他皱了皱眉，摇头放下。老板疑惑，年轻人解释：好碗声音清脆，坏碗声音沉闷。老板若有所思，又递给他一只碗，请他再试。奇怪的是，这一次不管和哪只碗相碰，声音都清脆悦耳。老板这才恍然大悟，原来刚才那只碗本身就是次品。启示：你听到的世界往往是你自己的回声。当你变好了，世界自然也会对你温柔。故事4，不是人没用，是位置没放对。公司里有3名员工，一个吹毛求疵，事事挑剔；一个杞人忧天，总爱担心风险；一个游手好闲，喜欢到处跑。很多人都觉得他们没救了，但老板却这样安排：让爱挑剔的负责质量监督，让爱担心的负责安全管理，让爱乱跑的负责外联调查。结果出人意料，3个人都交出了优秀成绩。启示：世上没有废人，只有被放错位置的人。懂得用人所长，比改变人更重要。故事5，真正让人掉下去的是想太多。一座高桥横跨深谷，盲人说：“我看不见悬崖，所以心很平静。”聋子说：“我听不到水声，所以不觉得害怕。”他们稳稳地走过了桥，而一个耳聪目明的正常人站在桥上，脑中却不断闪过：这么高，掉下去一定会死；水这么急，根本没救。恐惧占据了全部注意力，脚下一滑，坠入深谷。启示：有时候你最大的优势反而成了拖住你的恐惧。真正让人失败的往往不是危险本身，而是过度的想象。Truly smart people know how to live from a different angle. Have you noticed that some problems just won't be solved no matter how hard you try? Maybe it's not that you're not trying hard enough, but that the direction was wrong from the very beginning. After hearing these 5 stories, you might understand. Story 1. What you see as dirty may not really be dirty. There was a woman who had been unhappy with her neighbor across the way for many years. She often complained to her family, "Look at her, she never washes her clothes properly. They're full of stains when she hangs them outside." Almost every day, she stood by the window, looking at those clothes with disdain. One day, a friend came to visit. The friend stood by the window for a while and gently said, "Have you noticed that it's not the clothes that are dirty? It's your window that needs cleaning." The woman froze. Looking closely, she realized there was a thick layer of dust on the glass. At that moment, she suddenly understood. For all these years, the problem had never been the neighbor. Insight: many conflicts aren't because the world is wrong, but because we're looking at it through a dirty window. Reflecting on ourselves first often brings us closer to the truth than blaming others. Story 2. Covering the world with leather is worse than making 2 shoe soles. Long ago, humans walked barefoot. Once, a king went to inspect a remote area. The roads were rough and full of stones, and his feet were cut and bleeding. After returning to the palace, the king angrily ordered, "I want all the roads in the country covered with cowhide." The ministers calculated and found that even if all the cows in the nation were killed, it wouldn't be enough. Then a servant cautiously said, "Your Majesty, why not use just 2 pieces of cowhide to wrap your feet?" The king was stunned, on sight. Changing the world often costs a great deal. Changing yourself is cheaper and more effective. Truly smart people don't force the world to adapt to them. They adapt themselves to the world. Story 3. The sounds you hear actually come from yourself. A young man went to a shop to buy a bowl. He picked one up and lightly tapped it against others. The sound was dull and muddy. He frowned and put it down. The shop owner was puzzled, and the young man explained, "A good bowl makes a clear sound. A bad one sounds dull." The owner thought for a moment, and handed him another bowl, asking him to try again. Strangely, no matter which bowl he tapped this time, the sound was crisp and pleasant. Only then did the owner realize, the first bowl itself had been defective. Insight: the world you hear is often just an echo of yourself. When you become better, the world naturally becomes gentler toward you. Story 4. It's not that people are useless, they're just in the wrong place. In a company, there were 3 employees. One was extremely picky and critical. One was overly worried and always anxious about risks. One was restless and loved running around. Many people thought they were hopeless, but the boss arranged them like this. The picky one was put in charge of quality control. The worrier was assigned to safety management. The restless one handled external relations and investigations. The result surprised everyone. All 3 delivered excellent performance. Insight: there are no useless people in the world. Only people placed in the wrong positions. Knowing how to use people's strengths is more important than trying to change them. Story 5. What really makes you fall is thinking too much. A high bridge spanned a deep valley. A blind man said, "I can't see the cliff, so my heart is calm." A deaf man said, "I can't hear the rushing water, so I'm not afraid." They walked steadily across the bridge, but a person with normal sight and hearing stood on the bridge with thoughts racing. "It's so high, if I fall, I'll definitely die. The water is so fast there's no way to survive." Fear took over his attention. His foot slipped and he fell into the valley. Insight: sometimes, what you think is your greatest advantage becomes the source of your fear. What truly causes failure is often not the danger itself, but excessive imagination.